Before watching the video, don't forget to subscribe the channel and enable bell notification to never miss an update from us.
Hello everyone and welcome to Entry Channel. This is Ashima and this is a video on daily news events or daily current affairs in which we talk about the news events that have happened in the past day or a day or two, and we talk about all the important aspects of that news event so that we do not find ourselves in a blank when you face the examination. Right, so the perspective of this video is basically for you to clear the examination, whichever it be it your banking examination or SSC examination or RRB examination, any of which it is. The idea of this video is that you get the updates as and as per required, right? So we're going to begin with our news events. The first news event is a Sarna Code resolution. Now, this resolution has been passed in the Jharkhand General Assembly recently. Now, what exactly is the Sarna Code or the thing that is this? This resolution basically aims at providing Sarna religion a separate column in the census of 2021. Now, Sarna is a religion which is, you can say, a tribal religion, and this religion is very important because it's kind of going down. The number of people of it are going down, or the people who follow this religion are going down as they are not given the equal status. So it has gone down from 38% to 26%. So there's a decline in this tribal population, and that is why it is required to recognize it as of now, so that the people who are left over can follow the religion, or they are at least recognized, as we can say, right? Because as per the schedule 5 of the tribal laws or schedule which addresses the tribals, according to that, if any religion is going down on the scale, then that is not protected under the schedule 5, or whatever regulations are made under schedule 5, they are not going to be applying on that particular religion. Why? Because that population is going down. Right. So as of this resolution, if we say, this religion is basically a religion of followers who are worshippers of nature, and it is not that anyone who worships nature is it. They are not everyone who is classified into the nature worshipping as Sarna, but the Sarna people are the people who pray towards the, or consider the religion towards nature. Right. So as of now, Sarna is not considered a separate religion, but they are called under Hindus, as we can say, but they do not recognize themselves as Hindus, is what is important as of now. In 2019, there were certain demands that in the Schedule 5 areas, the tribal areas are going down. So, it should be not considered under that. Right. So bringing Sarna religion into a certain code will bring the religion into highlights, and that is how people will learn about the religion, and maybe the population revives or the belief revives. Major problem of this is not all naturalistic peoples are, as I told you, not all naturalistic religions who worship the forests are Sarnas. Right. Now, as we can see, Schedule 5 of the Constitution I mentioned, the Schedule 5 of the Constitution of India deals with the control administration of scheduled areas and scheduled tribes. But does it cover all states? No. The states which are covered are Meghalaya, Assam, Mizoram, and Tripura. These are the apart from these 4 states, so Meghalaya, Assam, Mizoram, and Tripura, they are under the separate schedule. I guess Schedule 6th is where Meghalaya, Assam, Mizoram, and Tripura are there. Rest of all the states come under Schedule 5. So any tribal law which is made under Schedule 5 applies to all the states except Meghalaya, Assam, Mizoram, and Tripura, which come under the Schedule 6 of the Constitution of India. Right? These are some important pointers. Then we come to Operation Greens scheme. Now we all know, like most of you might be aware about this Operation Greens scheme. What is important is the recent development, that is 50% air transport subsidy has been or is being provided to certain fruits and vegetables from Himalayan and Northeast states. So under the Udan scheme, as per the Udan scheme, Ude Desh Ka Aam Nagarik, under this scheme, the number of airports have been increased subsequently in the Northeast region. So now, to provide the viability of fruits and vegetables, and a timely viability, as we can say, this 50% transport subsidy is going to be given to air transport methods. Now, Operation Greens, if we talk about, it was launched in 2018, and its basic idea is price fixation. What is price fixation? That is that people, or you can say farmers, they get the right amount for the production they do. That is important, right? So the aim of the scheme is to provide the facilities to farmers, and its major focus initially was tomatoes, onions, and potatoes. Right. So the main focus is on these, but vegetables and fruits are added or revised time to time, so that it can be updated, and farmers of other other harvest are not felt as left out. Right. Initially, these fruits and vegetables, which right now are being put under air transportation subsidy, they were under rail subsidy, as we had called, or this budget had called Kisan Rail. So earlier this was going to be implemented, but since seeing the time and the production, they are deciding to give the air subsidy as of now. Kisan Rail scheme, if we talk about, it was announced by the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman in the 2021 budget, and the rails have also started. The first Kisan Rail was started from Maharashtra. So first Kisan Rail was from Maharashtra to Bihar, right? That is also important. All right, so we have covered about Udan scheme, we have seen about Operation Green, we have seen about Kisan Rail, right? These are the three important points regarding this news event. So we have learned about three new things regarding this news event. Right. Moving to the next one is interministerial committee, which is going to be established to set up the capital goods quality and stuff. So interministerial committee is going to be set up to strengthen the capital goods sectors. And this committee is going to have 22 members, which will look over everything related to capital goods, being global value chains, skill training, global standards, custom duties, everything that is related to them is going to be looked after this committee. So what they can ask you is, first thing, how many members are going to be there in this committee? Second thing that they can ask you is, what is the purpose of this committee? Why is this committee being created? Right. And the third thing that can be asked is something which can be related to capital goods, something static, like how much employment is provided, or what is the current arena of capital goods in India, and how is it going to help. So that is basically for the interview perspective. Now, capital goods market as of India, if we talk about it, is 43.2 billion US dollars, and its contribution is huge in the terms of economy, because it provides employment also. It is a huge it provides a huge turnover also. And since India is more into has many market oriented reforms, this is a major sector for all of us, and its development might increase the employment opportunities also, and that is why this ministry is set up. The question is, how many members are there, and what is the perspective of this interministerial committee? So now when we were talking about this, so this is a fifth Scorpion submarine that has been launched or put into force by the Indian Navy. So what is it capable of? That is has it been put forward to? So it is an anti-submarine warfare, anti-surface warfare, mine laying, intelligence gathering, and area surveillance. That is, it can do all of these functionalities, this submarine Wagir. Now, where has it been launched at? It was launched at Mazagon Dock. Mazagon Dock. And where is this dock? This dock is in Mumbai, right? So if any question comes up as to where this Mazagon Dock is, that is in Mumbai. It is also a part of 6 Kalvari class submarine. Now, it was built under which project? So there's a project 75 of Indian Navy. So they can ask you which armed forces has this project 75 running. So this project is of Indian Navy. Why was it named Wagir now? Wagir is basically, it has been named after the sandfish. This is a sandfish named Wagir, which is a deep sea predator in the Indian Ocean. So that is how this name Wagir has put into form. The first Wagir submarine had been taken from Russia, and now it has been built in India. Right? Now, International Financial Service Centers Authority Banking Regulation 2020 has recently been approved by IFSCA. IFSCA, that is International Financial Services Centers Authority, has approved this IFSCA Banking Regulation 2020. What are the features under it? So first of all, it lays down the obligation of setting up of IFSC banking unit, and this is an obligation, not an option anymore. Also, it is going to permit the persons which are residing outside India, that is NRIs, people living outside India, they can open foreign currency accounts and convert freely in any IFSC banking unit. Now, the people who are living in India, what about them? So they can also open foreign currency accounts in any freely convertible currency in the IFSC banking units or IBUs. So first of all, IBUs are going to be set up, which is an obligation. People who are living outside India and whose worth is not less than 1 million, that is their worth should be at least, net worth should be at least more than 1 million, they can open any foreign currency account. Similarly, people whose worth is equal to or greater than 1 million US dollars, they can also open any foreign currency account, and that freely currency transfer is going to be available to them, right? Next, activities of IBU which are permissible, that has also been listed down in this regulation. What is IFSCA? First of all, it is a body which was launched by the Government of India for all the international financial service centers. As we can see, this basically aimed at the currency conversions and international finances. So that simply tells us that this body has been put forward, or it has been created with the basic idea of checking over the international financial services. Where are the headquarters of IFSCA? It is headquartered in Gandhinagar in Gujarat. Right. Moving ahead, Internal Market Bill of United Kingdom has recently been approved. So it makes trade arrangements with all the 4 countries of UK. That is England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. All of these countries, this is going to be a trade agreement, or this bill is going to act as a trade agreement. Now, this is in question as of now. It's a public bill which was passed, but why is it in question is because it is against the Brexit pact that they had signed, basically. So the exit agreement or withdrawal agreement which was signed between UK and European Union, it is controversial towards that. Right. Northern Ireland Protocol says that Northern Ireland will remain a part of customs territory of UK, but UK is the one which had left it. Right. So there are a lot of controversies regarding it. The House of Lords has voted against it. They are not completely not in favor of the internal market bill. So let's see what happens on that. But if we talk about withdrawal agreement, now withdrawal agreement was between UK and European Union, and that had listed all the terms which were going to be there of Brexit. Right. So Brexit terms had been listed under the withdrawal agreement. Right. Now, moving ahead with the news event, Income Tax Appellate Tribunal ITAT was recently inaugurated in Cuttack. And this is very important because this tribunal is basically which helps people or in general for making all the income tax related queries or issues in a fast track court form of way, because tribunals are a place where the judgment can be done in a fast track format and a proper judgment can be done, right? So this is the purpose behind it, and the formation of it clearly signifies that how the judgments are going to take place now ahead. Government of India has set up an interministerial committee also to strengthen the capital goods, as we had talked about earlier. Then world's longest serving prime minister, that is Khalifa bin Salman Al Khalifa. He is the Bahrainian prime minister. He recently died. He is the longest serving prime minister of the world. That is why it is important. Now, what is important from this perspective is, first thing, that this person was the prime minister of when or which country, and second question that comes up is that this prime minister Khalifa bin Salman Al Khalifa, so they can ask you that who was the world's longest serving prime minister, right? Next thing that is important is he has also won the World Peace Culture Award. He is the winner of World Peace Culture Award, and this award was given to him in 2017. Right, so this can be asked that Prime Minister of Bahrain died recently. He received World Peace Culture Award in which year? Right, he is also the winner of United Nations top honor, which is for strengthening the global goal of sustainable development. So he has also won that. Right. All right. With that, now who is going to be the new Prime Minister of Bahrain? That is a question. So the King of Bahrain, Hamad bin Isa al Khalifa. He is the new king of is the king of Bahrain, and he has named the crown prince Salman al Khalifa as the new prime minister. So you must know who is the king of Bahrain, that is Hamad bin Isa al Khalifa, and the new prime minister is the crown prince, that is Salman al Khalifa. Right. Next, 11th of November is celebrated as Public Services Broadcasting Day, and a special event was organized in All India Radio, New Delhi. So over here, what do we have as of now is that first question being that when is it celebrated? The second question being that where was it celebrated in 2020? That is All India Radio, New Delhi. Third thing is about All India Radio, that where or when was it established? So it was established in 1936. All India Radio was established in 1936, and it is a division of Prasar Bharati. Right. Currently, how many languages and programs are running? There are 23 languages in which it runs the programs. And the recent news why it was there is because of Sanskrit. It has started a program on Sanskrit also. Right. Then Finance Ministry had given approval for the creation of National Database for Unorganized Sector, which is the first ever database for migrant workers. What is the perspective of it? The Aadhaar number is going to be used, the 12-digit Aadhaar number, and all the unorganized workers are going to be categorized in it. Right, and now how is it going to help all the social security schemes that are implemented, all the other jobs and schemes which are implemented? All of those schemes will come into force, and we can check or track on them that whether they are being implemented in the right direction or not. So that is why this listing is important, because right now we don't even know how many migrant workers are there, how many are there in the unorganized or informal employed section. Right, so this is going to help us in that part. Right, and before I leave you, I would like to tell you about the Diwali festive sale which is going on, and at that time Entry has decided to give you 1 year bank plan at a validity of 3 months extra with 73% discount, and this is valid only from November 11 to 15. So all you need to do is download the app and check out the platform. You can see in any language you want or you are comfortable at, and you can download the app, check it out, take the trial, because right now 7 days trial is also running. So take the trial and subscribe, because that is what the content of Entry is. It has various videos, various courses, various quizzes, all are oriented at your success. So all you need to do is check it out once and check out on the courses, and that's all that you would need to be convinced of. With this, I will be leaving over here. Thank you so much for being with us, and have a great day ahead.